श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter number 2. Canto 7, Science of God, Chapter 2, Hiranyakashipu, King of the Demons, and verse number 42. इदं शरीरं पुरुषस्य मोहजं यथा पृथक् भौतिकम् इवत गृहम् यथोदक यथोदके पार्थिवतैजस्रजना कालेन जातो विकृतो विनश्यति इदं शरीरं पुरुषस्य मोहजं यथा पृथक् भौतिकं नीयते गृहम् यथोदके पार्थिवतैजस्रजना कालेन जातो विकृतो विनश्यति इदं शरीरं पुरुषस्य मोहजं यथा पृथक् भौतिकं नीयते गृहम् यथोदके पार्थिवतेजसेर्जना कालेन जातो विकृतो विनश्यति. What meaning? Idam, this shariram, body, purushasya, of the conditioned soul, moha, mohajam, born of ignorance, yatha, just as, prithak, separate, bhautikam, material, yate is seen, griham, a house, yatha, just as, udake, with water, parthiv, with earth, tejashe, and with fire, jana, the conditioned soul, kalena, in due course of time, jata, born, vikrita, transformed, vinashati, is vanquished. Translation: just as a householder, although different from the identity of his house, thinks his house to be identical with him, so the conditioned soul, due to ignorance, accepts the body to be himself, although the body is actually different from the soul. This body is obtained through a combination of portions of earth, water, and fire. And when the earth, water, and fire are transformed in the course of time, the body is vanquished. The soul has nothing to do with this creation and dissolution of the body. Purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We transmigrate from one body to another in bodies that are products of our illusion. But as spirit souls, we always exist separately from material conditioned life. But as spirit souls, we always exist separately from material conditional life. The example given here is that a house or car is always different from its owner, but because of attachment, the conditioned soul thinks it to be identical with him. A car or house is actually made of material elements. As long as the material elements combine together properly, the car or house exists. And when they are disassembled, the house or the car is disassembled. The spirit soul, however, always remains as he is. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, welcome all of you in Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Canto 7, The Science of God, chapter 2, titled as Hiranyakashipu, the king of demons, and today's verse is 42. Let me read translation again. Just as a householder, although different from the identity of his house, thinks his house to be identical with him, so the conditioned soul, due to ignorance, accepts the body to be himself, although the body is actually different from the soul. This body is obtained through a combination of portions of earth, water, and fire, and when the earth, water, and fire are transformed in the course of time, the body is vanquished. The soul has nothing to do with this creation and dissolution of the body. So here, Hiranyakashipu on the, you can say, because Lord Sri Vishnu or directly if you are saying that Lord Varahadev has killed Hiranyaksha. So the wife and mother of Hiranyaksha are lamenting the death of Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyakashipu trying to consoling them, trying to pacify them, is saying these words to his mother and the wife of Hiranyaksha, saying that this body anyway has to dissolute. So practically speaking, this body is made up of five elements, gross five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And those subtle elements which makes a subtle body, a mind, intelligence, and ego. And then there are 24 elements, Mahat Tattva, which stagnates the thing. And then there are three modes of material nature, because modes are required to make it little bit dynamic, to make it moving. And then Lord Himself, in the form of time, enters into these 24 elements and three forms of material nature, then makes it moving. Then things starts when Lord Himself enters that time. Then things starts happening. So all this, as we can see, that material nature, although she's eternal, she is constant, but the effects, or you can say the activities which takes place through material nature, that is always changing, always changing. It's always flickering and it's always changing. And in these 24 elements, in these three modes of material nature, in the presence of Lord as time, the soul enters into different bodies made from these eight elements, five gross and three subtle. As Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhinna Prakriti Rashtadha. These are my eight separated energies. Soul takes these different bodies made from these eight elements, five gross and three subtle, based on its inclinations, its activities, or you can say karma and desires. So based on its inclinations, activities, the soul gets the body, and in those bodies, the soul again starts a new set of karma, a new set of actions, whose reactions he has to reap again, maybe in this body or in the next body. So, this is a basic science of spirituality that we have to understand that we are soul and we are not this body. Yeah, although we discuss many things in spirituality, we may go into very deep understanding of spirituality, the bhavas, the rasas of Vrindavan, the mood of Dwarka, the feeling of devotees, the relationship with the Lord. But the basic fundamental thing is that we are not this body made from eight separate energies of the Lord, but we are soul. So, firstly, you have to understand that. And it's not just we have to theoretically understand, means it's not that we just, oh, I know that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, but it should be in action also. Till the time this thought process does not dwell into our actions, how are we sure that yes, we know that we are not this body, we are soul? So, acknowledgement will be proved when this acknowledgement dwells in our actions. So, point is, without learning this, we can't go deep into the mellows of the mood of Vrindavan or Dwarka or how the Lord reciprocates with the devotees. Not possible. So initial, this is the starting. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. And Srila Prabhupada, if you look at, if you hear Srila Prabhupada lectures or if you read the purports of Srila Prabhupada, whether it's Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, in all those purports, repeatedly Srila Prabhupada have hammered this point that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. So sometimes devotees used to ask Srila Prabhupada, in every purport, in every lecture, you are just hammering the same point again and again that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Why are you saying this again and again? Srila Prabhupada used to say, because even after saying so much, you are not understanding that you are not this body, your soul. That's why I have to repeat this sentence again and again. Being born and brought up in a country, such a pious country like India, this is not a very, you can say, a rare thing to listen that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. It's a very common thing because India, being a punya bhumi, even from childhood, we are used to listen to this statement somehow or other. Even the movies also, although we criticize Bollywood very much, but the movies are also in India. So this, even through movies also we get this point that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. And there's so many lectures going on, so many Bhagavatam kathas are going on, so many temples are there, Krishna katha is going on, Gita classes are going on. Somehow or other, through our childhood, every person somehow gets the impression that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. But still, our activities are still in bodily conception of life. Because this knowledge is not, you can say, just a bookish knowledge, It's a realized knowledge. Unless and until we come to that realization that yes, we are not this body, we are spirit soul, it will be just like a, you can say, information, a piece of information. We know that, but we don't have any realization. And same thing is happening with Hiranyakashipu. If this section of Srimad Bhagavatam is taken out separately and given to someone, he will say, wow, what a great thoughts, what a realized knowledge, what a realized Acharya, what a great Vaishnav is giving such in class to his mother and the wife of his brother. Same meaning, same knowledge that Krishna delivered to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Same knowledge. But the irony is, here, Hiranyakashipu is consoling his mother, saying that this is just the body, soul has departed, body is always dead, soul is eternal. And in the upcoming chapters, this Hiranyakashipu goes for meditation, goes for tapasya. And when Lord Brahma arrives asking, I'm pleased with you, what do you want? And he says, I want to be immortal. The body in which the soul dwells, the body is already dead because the body is made of matter. There's no life in matter. Matter is dead. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, there's no life. These matter are dead matter. Mind, intelligence, ego, no life. This is also dead. So when these dead matters are coming together, how can there be life? They're always dead. So body is always dead. That's material nature. Material nature is eternal, but the effects which are shown in the nature, what we are seeing, they are temporary, they are changing, they are flickering. So our body also it keeps on changing from one phase to another phase. It takes birth, it grows, it sustains itself, produces some byproducts, and it dwindles, then finished, vanquished. Again, the five elements merge into the five elements. Earth goes into the earth, water into water, fire into fire, air into air, ether into ether. So, for the time being, in between, when the body seems alive, it's not because of just of matter that we are seeing, but it's because of that unseen soul whose presence makes the body moving. And soul is always eternal. Soul is immortal. And the body in which the soul dwells for a temporary time span, that body is already dead. There's no life in that body. Just because of presence of soul in that body, the body seems moving. The body seems full of life. For example, if I wear a glove, hand glove, although a glove in itself is dead, it will not move. There's no movement. But when the glove is on my hand moves, making the glove move. So it may seem that glove has life. it's moving. On the other hand, the example Prabhupada gives in purport that a car in itself will not move. It will stay at its own place unless and until a driver enters into the car, ignite the car, and starts the car. Then car starts moving. So we cannot say that car is full of life. No, the driver has life. That lively driver is moving the car. Moment driver comes out, the car stands still. So what Prabhupada here is saying, sorry, in translation it is written that just as a household although different from the identity of his house thinks his house to be identical with him, so the conditioned soul due to ignorance accepts the body to be himself although the body is actually different from the soul. Householder thinks that this house is me, so he does everything for the maintenance of that house. Although the house is different and householder, the owner of the house is different. Let me give another example. The car owner and a car. So, manlo, if you consider that this happens generally on road, we have to if we don't know the person and we have to call that person, we say, "Hey, auto wale," या फिर or in direct words I can say, "Hey, auto, move aside." So that does not mean auto will move aside automatically by itself. No, the auto driver will move the auto. Why? Because the auto driver thinks that this auto is me. Or whenever you can see that if there's a white Ford car is moving on the road and there's a little scratch comes on the car just because a motorcycle or a scooter just move by its sides, just touch that car, there's a little scratch. And the car driver, when the car driver notices that scratch and he's enraged, the flames of anger, thinking that this scooter has not given scratches to my car, the scooter has given scratches to me, car is me. Something bad happens to the car, it seems that it's happening to me. So point is, as a householder or car owner thinks their house or car to themselves, but actually they are not the car, neither the house. They are the individuals who are in that car or in that house. Similarly, Prabhupada is saying that we are not this body, we are individual souls who is residing in this body. And knowing that our activities should be in that manner, in that mood, that yes, we are not this body, we are spirit souls, and being a spirit soul, I will do those activities which are, you can say, which match the nature of the soul. Because if we see all those sins that we do are always in the bodily conception of life. The moment we come out of this conception, this bodily conception, we will be completely pure. Because then our activities will be on the level of soul, and because soul is a part and parcel of Krishna, so every activity will be pleased to be will be the purpose of our activity will be to please Krishna. And here, yes, we were discussing Hiranyakashipu, who did austerities for 60,000 years. Such a the description of austerity is that his whole body was dwindling. There was no skin left on his body. The ants has eaten everything. Only the skeleton was remaining. Soul was in the skeleton only. And getting pleased by his devotion, his austerities, Lord Brahma arrived and asked him, "What do you want? What blessing?" So Hiranyakashipu said, "Please make me immortal." And Lord Brahma told him that you're asking to be immortal, but that benediction I can't give you because I myself is not mortal. Sorry, I myself is not immortal. How can I give you that benediction? So he asked various conditions where how he should not be get killed, and then he starts his activities in the bodily conception of life, terrified the whole universe, and at last we all know that Lord Narasimhadev has to appear to protect his devotee Prahlad Maharaj, and he killed Hiranyakashipu. Same Hiranyakashipu person is the same. He's telling his relatives that we should not lament for the dead body, but we should. He's telling his devotees, his relatives, that he is they should not lament for this body, but they should try to understand that he is soul, he is still present, just the body has changed. But in next chapters we see that he's asking Lord Brahma that he does not want to die. And in next birth, same Hiranyakashipu becomes Ravana. And in that birth, as Ravan, he again perform austerities. And when Lord Brahma appears, he again asks him the same thing, that I want to be immortal. He died here. In the previous birth also, he asked Brahma the same benediction. Brahma refused. And in the next birth, he again asked him the same benediction. And Brahma still refused. That even I am not immortal. So he said, okay. Then in that condition, he asked various boons that I should not be killed by demigods because humans are anyway negligible for me. I can defeat them. And we know that how Lord Ram appeared as a human and killed Ravana. The point is that we don't want to be, we don't want to die thinking that we are this body, and if this body gets finished, our existence will be over. point is that we are soul, part and parcel of Krishna, and we are always eternal. We never die. And we can realize this knowledge by rendering services. So, through services, humble services, we can realize that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
क्या था श्लोक?